temperatures and clean air, and at Route 66, it means that crew members, drivers, and the fans are licking their lips in anticipation of big speed and quick elapsed times. And Friday night did not disappoint. It was a wild night of qualifying. Vinny Arcadi tried to fly. It was capped by Top Fuel standout and points leader Tony Schumacher. In the final run of the evening, he runs 4.43 seconds, a new potential national record. That's 20 potential bonus points if he can back it up. This exclusive broadcast is available in high definition on ESPN2 HD.
Championship to us drag racers is kind of like the Holy Grail. It means it all.
The pressure this year is what's going to help us to win a championship.
The pressure's really building, but right now we got to get it done.
It's time to start that move. If we don't make that move now in the next couple of races, it might not happen.
As the sun sets on the 05 NHRA season, the time is now for championship contenders to step up or step out. Who has what it takes to capture the crown? The quest begins now in qualifying from Route 66. And hello again, everybody. I'm Marty Reed, alongside a 22-time national event winner, Mike Dunn. You already know the story about Tony Schumacher, potential 20 extra bonus points if he can back up that new national record. We can also tell you we've got the quickest funny car field and the quickest pro stock field ever in the history of the sport. It has been great. Let's talk about funny car. There's two guys you really want to single out.
Yeah, for the championship contenders, I want to look at Gary Scelzi and John Force. Both these drivers really like this racetrack. Gary Scelzi, the first driver to run over 330 miles per hour in a funny car. John Force last year at this race ran that 4:66 elapsed time national record. At the time, just a tremendous run because he was about 1,500s off of what the best top fuel cars were running, and he was 600 or 700s quicker than the next best funny car driver was running it at the time. So obviously they know how to run at this racetrack, but you know, this year they got the rev limiters to try to slow them down a little bit. But right now, Gary Scelzi with a 469, John Force with a 471 last night. They both are looking awfully tough.
Yeah, they're third and fifth. Let's talk about the other three in the funny car championship chase. Let's bring in Dave Reeve.
Marty, the guys who are third through fifth in the points are all coming off less than stellar results in Reading. Nobody got out of the second round, and it would seem like that trend has continued here in Joliet. Eric Medlin is qualified in the number 9 spot. Ron Capps is 10th, but remember, it is the quickest funny car field of all time. Robert Hight does have a very good number, 475, but take a look at what happened when he ran that in the first qualifying session yesterday. The car was running very, very lean. It kicked the rods out, damaged this car heavily. The only piece this team able to save was the blower. Those troubles continued in the second qualifying session when Robert Hight hit the gas pedal. The car goes up to 8,000 RPM, then dies quickly. Jimmy Prock says, uh-oh, we got an electronics problem. Couldn't pinpoint it, so to be careful and be safe today, they've replaced everything ignition-related on this car today because it is crunch time in funny car, Gary Gerald. And as everybody knows, this is not the time to be bit by a gremlin.
And with this red-hot championship battle going on, I want to point out a couple of guys who are determined to steal some of the spotlight this weekend. We're talking about the brothers, Tony and Cruz Pedregon, who electrified this joint last night when they got down the quarter mile in identical clockings of 4.68 seconds flat. The second and the third quickest runs in the history of funny car in the NHRA. And as Mike mentioned, only John Force had gone quicker. That was a year ago on this same racetrack. For Tony Pedregon driving this machine, he said actually lost his cylinder at the 1,200-foot mark. He thinks they could have gone even quicker. He's trying to build on the momentum of a victory 2 weeks ago at Reading. His brother Cruz right across the way, well, he's broken a dreadful drought. Remember, they failed to qualify at the U.S. Nationals in Indianapolis, failed to qualify 2 weeks ago in Pennsylvania. But here are the brothers Pedregon now in a position to play a major spoilers role this weekend in Joliet.
ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, presents exclusive coverage of the $50 million NHRA Powerade Drag Racing Series. Today, from Route 66 Raceway in Joliet, Illinois, just southwest of Chicago, it's qualifying for the 5th running of the AmeriQuest Mortgage Company Nationals. And as you look down from high above the AmeriQuest Airship Freedom, we are getting ready for a picture-perfect day. There's not a cloud in the sky. You've already been brought up to date on how much performance we've seen. Will we get even more today? Well, let's get you caught caught up on everything that's going on. Show you this run one more time in Top Fuel. Tony Schumacher in the left lane, Larry Dixon in the right lane. The last 2 cars to go down the track. Tony goes 4.437. Larry a 4.52.
And on this run, from a standing start to the 8th mile, in 3 seconds, he was running over 281 miles per hour and carried it to the other end for that 4.43 at 331.77 miles per hour.
And as we come down trackside for 3rd session of Top Fuel, we have Rod Fuller, and here comes David Grubnick. You're on board with David, the Xantrex 3 Top Fuel machine. He'll be over in the left lane. Let's take a look at the leaderboard right now in Top Fuel. As you can see, a lot of guys in the 440s.
This is a great racetrack here. It's very tight where you can get really aggressive, especially in that nighttime session that we saw last evening.
And there is the bump spot with Bobby Lagana with a career best 4.68. And here are the guys that are outside looking in, including TJ Zizzo and Scott Wise. This is the home track for both of these guys. As we get ready for this run, let's take a quick look at the weather.
Beautiful day here, 78 degrees, blue skies, water grains per pound of air, 57, relative humidity at 38%. That means it's pretty dry right now. Track temperature 101, that's still manageable. Density, altitude, when you factor in things like altitude and temperature and humidity, is about 2,200 feet above sea level.
And as you go on board with David Grubnick, he set the track speed record here 1 year ago at 333.58 miles an hour. And to back up what you were talking about, how impressive that run by John Force was last year, that's exactly the same speed Force ran when he set the funny car record last year. Well, tires smoke almost instantaneously for David Grubnick, and Rod Fuller made it to about half track before he ended up getting out of it. So no improvement for either man. Rod will stay in the number 5 spot, and David Grubnick will be number 13. Let's go back and listen on board with David Grubnick.
One thing you could hear was Rod Fuller in the right-hand lane. The car drove over towards the center of the lane. He was on a very good run early, and then you heard the motor go up as it got loose when he drove the thing just outside the groove.
And as they coast on out the far end, there is our chief starter, Rick Stewart, and we've got him wired this weekend, and we're able to listen in on some of his conversations.
Wait around and they get behind. What the hell? I hate it when we wait around because that's what happens. Then we get behind. These guys always want to run as early as they can so the track temperature's down there is good. Fire in the hole. Rags! Get rags on it now! Rags! We need rags bad! Got a big oil down here in the left lane. Take a few minutes to clean up. Okay, emergency 1, bring out the white powder, please. Let's put it down. Then we'll have Raleigh vacuum it up, and we might run a Tennant machine on it. We'll see what it looks like.
And we'll have him wired throughout the day, and we'll be able to listen in to some of the commands and conversations of Rick Stewart. As we get ready now for Doug Coletta over in the right lane, Brandon Bernstein in the left lane. Bernstein family's had a lot of success at this track. Dad Kenny won here in 2003 over Larry Dixon, in 01 over the late Darrell Russell. That 03 win put him second on the all-time Top Fuel win list, putting him past Big Daddy Don Garlits. So some fond memories for the Bernstein family here. And Brandon has won Top Alcohol Dragster here in 2001 when the family doubled up.
Brandon's crew chief Tim Richards, had some problems at the last race. They broke a reverser in the first round when they were up against Doug Coletta in that matchup, and Tim just felt that the car did not run very well in qualifying. They had some problems that they thought they got a handle on it. It was making a decent run in the first round, but then that reverser broke. So they're trying to get back on track right now.
The AmeriQuest Airship Freedom with us. You're looking down. Boy, and you can see what the advantage of getting off the starting line first is. They run identical 4:52 elapsed times, but from above you can see Doug Coletta leaving the line first. Had this been race day, Brandon would have been on the trailer by a car length. So Doug is in the number 4 spot as we get ready to take a commercial break. Stay with us when we come back. Larry Dixon and Doug Herbert here at Route 66.
Today's Speed World presentation of the AmeriQuest NHRA Nationals brought to you by Powerade. Sport is what you make it. AmeriQuest, proud sponsor of the American Dream. And Pizza Hut, home of America's favorite pan pizza. Gather around the good stuff.
One of the most beautiful facilities on tour, Route 66 Raceway in Joliet, just southwest of Chicago, as you look down from the AmeriQuest Mortgage Airship Freedom. Glad the guys are with us. And come down trackside for Larry Dixon, Doug Herbert. How would you like to be Larry? We talked about this on the NHRA Today last Sunday. Comes off a runner-up win, at Maple Grove, and the big win at the U.S. Nationals. As you take a look at the total round wins, he's actually leading, but he's lost ground in the championship chase. He's 100 back now.
Yeah, that's a situation that Tony Schumacher is just so strong right now. They've got such a great team, and they're coming into the kind of racetracks that they like more so than Larry Dixon. Larry Dixon's very tough on a marginal racetrack. I think they can run head-to-head with Tony, maybe even a little bit better. But when the track gets good, it just seems that Army team just has a little bit more horsepower. And right now, Dick LaHaye and that team are trying to find that little extra that they need to win these races.
Wayne Dupuis, crew chief for Doug Herbert. Herbert won this event last year in a very close race over Tony Schumacher. That was his last win on tour. He's been to 4 out of the 5 blast races to the semifinals at least. You could see the cylinders out on Larry Dixon's top fuel machine, and you could see the end result of 471. Doug Herbert goes 4.54 seconds. A solid run will not improve his number 3 qualifying effort.
Yeah, that cylinder was out. I mean, normally Larry Dixon's car just lifts the front end right up. You saw the front end stay down on the right side of that car. The cylinder was out, and watch right over here. You're going to see as soon as he hits the throttle, that cylinder is going to go out right there, which just takes quite a bit of horsepower. I mean, he still went a 471, but that's about all you're going to do on 7 cylinders.
And as we take a look at the championship standings right now, you can see that Tony Schumacher has 100 points, 5 rounds over Larry Dixon, 105 over Doug Coletta, and then it drops off to David Grubnick on down through Scott Wise. As we get back trackside, we get ready now for Corey McLennan, the number 2 qualifier, and Tony Schumacher. And there is the army of 1. We get ready for these guys. We should explain, this 443 is actually not the quickest pass of all time. There's the number he needs to run to back it up, 4.481, certainly capable of it. Doug Coletta actually ran the 2 quickest passes in history, both here at Joliet. He ran a 442 back in the spring of 04 and a 4.428 in 03, but he could not back him up to the national mark. So he did not collect the bonus points, and that's why right now the national record currently stands at 4.44 seconds. Let's get more on the man who holds that record and his tuner, Dave Reed.
Well, if you're new to NHRA Powerade drag racing and don't know the name Alan Johnson, pay attention. This is one man who is not shy about his tune-ups. I remember a race back in Indianapolis where he went 449 to win the race. Didn't need anything near that. That's the kind of man this guy is. He's very, very aggressive with his tune-ups, and so far he's got 2 very solid numbers on the board. Numbers good enough, he just told me a moment ago, are safe. In other words, he doesn't think that the car will go out and smoke the tires. He doesn't think that it will be too soft and shake and possibly spin the tires. He's very, very comfortable with his setup heading into this round, and Point Blank told me they want the record. They want to get it settled right here, and they want that 20 extra points that will put them more than 1 race ahead of Larry Dixon. Now, with just 3 to go, you touched on the magic number, Marty, 4.481.
And even though it would not be enough points to clinch it, if they win this race and get the record, they pretty much put a stranglehold on everybody else.
They'd be very hard to get around. And that's an interesting strategy because right now the heat's out. But, Alan Johnson is very aggressive to go for that national record. I think I would have just tried to get a set up for tomorrow's eliminations and gone for that backup in the next round. But Alan Johnson, he's not that way. He's not shy.
Take a look. 4.473, 326 miles an hour. And if no one else takes away the record, guess what? 20 extra bonus points for Tony Schumacher.
Boy, does Alan Johnson know this race car with what? And the racetrack. I mean, what a tremendous job. I mean, he went out there and, you know, gave it a tune-up. The car ran pretty much real close to the numbers it did last night, the first 300 feet. And then what he did was take a little bit of horsepower through the middle of the track so it wouldn't spin the tires. He was about 6 miles an hour slower at the 8th mile, but it was still enough to get the backup for the record.
Let's check in with Dave Reeve and see if Alan Johnson has his hands around the throat of everybody else in Top Fuel.
He does have his hands around the throat, hands around the hips, and a big smile. Congratulations, you've run the number to get that record. Now, with a race car that you told me a little bit ago, too, maybe could have even been better last night, right?
Well, yeah, it certainly could have. It's, you know, in order to get those really low numbers, the thing's got to be perfect going down there. We gave up a little bit early, gained a little bit down track, but, you know, if we can get them both together, it's going to run better.
So much talk about the rev limiter. You scoff at it.
Well, you know, it really doesn't make that much difference. You know, it's only in the last 100 feet. You know, the car's so hooked up here down there that the RPM's low enough it doesn't even come on until probably the last 100 feet. So by that time, it's got so much momentum, it doesn't hurt the ET much.
Congrats so far on a good weekend.
Thank you.
Need to see what those numbers could be if the rev limiter is a factor, Gary Gerould.
Wow. Everybody just like, wow, that is so cool for us. Is it cool for you? Well, what a silly question. Were there any doubts because it's warmer today that you couldn't back it up?
No, I was hoping that we could back it up. You know, I mean, it's hard to say when you wake up in the morning how hot it's going to get. But Alan said before that run, we're going to run in the 47, 48 range. We need a 48-1, and there's no reason we can't run a 46 or 7-2. You know, he's as smart as they come. And when he's got a team like the U.S. Army team behind him, backing him up, and he knows that these guys are flawless, he can do those kinds of things. That's just amazing. For the United States Army, Matco Tools, Gates Belt, we love you guys very much, man. World record and 20 valuable points.
You betcha. End of the event, they'll be tallying them up.
And for Alan Johnson, his first national record 9 years ago with brother Blaine Johnson behind the wheel. We've got to take a commercial break. When we come back, it's time for Funny Car. And you know Robert Hight, Gary Scelzi, and John Force have a lot at stake. Stay with us.
I thrive on pressure. That's when I'm out in the head is when I'm my worst, because I don't get up breathing it. You got to eat, sleep, breathe. You got to have that gut ache. You got to go to that start line Sunday morning with that gut ache. And buddy, I got that gut ache. So does Robert. So does Eric. But so does Scelzi.
The pressure's really building. I mean, I've been in 3 World Championship battles, but right now we got to get it done.
The pressure's pretty intense, but right now we just like to win a couple more races, and maybe we can be on the last guy standing on the stage.
And as we come back here to Route 66 Raceway, the fans giving you a wave in this beautiful day here at the AmeriQuest Mortgage Nationals. And there is Robert Hight as he gets ready to make his 3rd qualifying effort. And they are literally the 2nd pair out because of what happened yesterday and the way the run order is established. Let's take you back and show you session number 1. Here was where he made a good run but blew it up.
Yeah, nice pass down there, and then just before the finish line, you're going to see the thing just kind of erupt up there. And then last night he hits a throttle and it doesn't go anywhere, it just kind of quit. And they found the ignition problems. They think they found it. They're hoping they did anyway.
So that brings us to this moment, and as we said, they are the 2nd pair out. And right now, Robert in the number 7 spot. There you see him just ahead of Del Worsham. How would you like to have to run a 473 just to make the top half of the field? You already heard about Cruz and Tony, those identical 468s. That was an incredible performance by both of them. And there's the bump spot, our quickest funny car field ever. Gary Densham, 4.842. Here are all the guys outside looking in, and some familiar names on that list, including Bob Gilbertson, Jim Head, and there is Jack Wyatt as well. Paul Lee going to be in this matchup alongside of Robert Hight. Paul in the number 17 spot. He is still trying to qualify for his first ever NHRA national event in funny car, his 4th attempt to make the field.
And you mentioned the fact that they are the 2nd pair out. That's because it was based on how quick you ran last night's session. So the quickest cars from last night's session will run towards the end of this session. We saw that Robert Hight had the problem when he hit the throttle. He just basically coasted down the other end in a 17-second run. So that, as a result, is why he is a 2nd pair out.
And you got to believe that the nerves are really churning inside Robert, because remember, you blow it up in the first session, even though you're qualified number 7. Then you have the problem yesterday. You get that feeling like what we saw happen to Ron Capps and Ace McCullough with the oil down situation in Maple Grove. You find yourself feeling like you're 1 session behind playing catch up.
Yeah, but as a driver, you got to shake that out. You know, you got to just figure you got a good car, you're going to go out there and do the best job you can. But for a rookie, a lot of times, I know in my instance, you know, you did start thinking about that stuff and to start working on it. Robert's a little different. I mean, it seems like he's, you know, pretty focused on the job that he needs to do, and he pays attention pretty well. So I think he's up. I think he's ready for the task.
They are going to be scratching their heads. Paul Lee does not make the field at 5:38, and Jimmy Brock's car goes up in tire smoke. So they make it down the racetrack, only 1 out of 3 sessions, and Robert Hight, who has more poles this year than anybody else, all of a sudden is struggling.
Looks like they just missed on the setup. The car launches right here. It starts to make a little bit of a move, but it was still in the groove. Right there, it moves over towards the center a little bit, and then it starts spinning the tires, then backfired the supercharger when that engine got up a little bit too high. So they may even still have the electrical gremlins they're looking for, too. You never know.
And there is the car at the far end of the racetrack. Didn't even make the turn. In fact, there's more smoke. So there is some major issues for Jimmy Brock, Robert Hight, and the AAA of Southern California team. Now let's go back and show you what happened in session number 1. This was a dandy. Take a look at Tommy Johnson. He has a career best, the 5th funny car to go over 330. He goes 4.71 seconds, 330. Both of them CVs. Ron Capps a 475. Then in session number 2, this was Vinny Arcady.
Man, he's going to go out there and shakes the tires. He gets out of it, gets back on. It just hooks the clutch up and drives that thing skyward. Takes out a couple of timing blocks, and it's DQ'd for that run.
And then the fireworks really start to fly. Tony Pedregon, driver's left, career best in laps time, second quickest run ever, 4.68 flat, 320 miles an hour. Lawson was nowhere to be found. He ran a 5:43. And then brother Cruz, who's been struggling mightily, goes 4.68 at 330 miles an hour. Both of those career bests for the Cruiser, and he moves into the #1 spot. And then the quickest side-by-side, Selzy and TJ, both of them go 4.69 and both 331 miles an hour. It was fireworks. Here are the leaderboards right now, and the points and stats are Redding. You've got Selzy by 26 ahead of Robert Hight, 31. That's just under 2 rounds of racing over John Force. Ron Capps just a touch over 4 rounds behind. And speaking of Ron Capps, he's coming to the line now. He'll be over in the right lane in the #10 spot. How would you like to run a 4.75 second elapsed time, which is real close to his career best, but just a few thousandths of a second, and you're only good enough for #10. And we talked about getting behind the 8 ball, and this is how it happened at Redding. When NHRA officials said that Ron's car was leaking oil, Ace McCullough was livid. And in fact, first words out of his mouth this week, Mike Dunn, was he is still fuming about this because he feels it cost them the race.
It cost them the night run, which also cost them qualifying in the top half of the field, which lost them lane choice in the first round. In the first round at Maple Grove, there was a definite advantage to having the left lane, and I got to agree with Ace. I think it definitely cost them.
Now the trick is both of them have to put this away. You've got to focus on what is still ahead. That is over and done. But boy, I'll tell you, Ace and Ron both. I mean, Ron didn't even know that he got charged with oil until they got here. And then that got him up on the tire. Over in the left lane, as you look at starter Rick Stewart, he was center point in that battle. There's Jack Wyatt. His career best of 491. He's got to hit a home run like you've never seen to make the field. And you saw Wyatt. He was so nervous. He left before the tree was activated. Ron goes 4.75 seconds. A career best speed of 327 and change.
And you look at those numbers, that's not a bad run considering on basically Ron Capps got that thing way over towards the center line out of the groove, which is a good rubber, but it still stayed hooked up. Look at the left side of your screen. You're going to see Ron Capps nice and straight there. Then right there, it drifts way over towards the center line. So it's getting a little more tire spin than normally would, but yet still managed to run 327 miles per hour. Look on the right side of that car. There's something spraying out of the right side of the car. Obviously, it couldn't have been any fluid or something. It looked like it just must have been smoke, because if it was any kind of fluid, it would have spun the tires and probably turned that thing sideways. But it did kind of drift over towards the center at the end, but still he hung on and made a good run.
And there is Ron at the far end of the racetrack climbing out as his third session is over. We've got to take a commercial break. We've still got more funny car, but whoa, what's this? the Chicago Storm's based here in Chicagoland. And we'll talk to a couple of guys who are out visiting the Checker Shucks and Craig team. Stay with us. Looking down on Route 66 Raceway, AmeriQuest Mortgage Company NHRA Nationals. It is race number 20 of 23 on the NHRA Powerade Drag Racing Series, and I'm Marty Reed along with Mike Dunn, Dave Brief, Gary Gerald, and our entire ESPN2 crew, and we're so glad that you're with us. And while we were in break, Gary Densham came to the line, the number 16 qualifier. He started in the right lane but didn't stay there for long, as apparently something went wrong with the steering and he slams the wall behind Mike Ashley. Mike, this was a scary moment.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about Gary Densham, probably one of the most seasoned funny car drivers out there. The only way this could have happened is either he got knocked out or, like you said, Marty, something broke in the steering, and I did not see any tire shake, so obviously he was conscious, and at that point the car was just going wherever it was going to go, and Gary couldn't do anything at that point except ride it into the wall.
He was okay. Let's listen in on what Rick Stewart saw down at the starting line.
Looks like you got out of the groove with a left rear tire, and the right rear tire bite, and the right rear tire drove him into the left lane. Didn't lift in time. You can see the tire tracks going out there, and you can see how the left rear tire was outside of the groove. You got to stay in the groove. To get out of the groove, the only thing you can do is lift. Otherwise, one tire will drive you one way, and the left rear tire will drive you the other way. That's exactly what happened to him. Just hope he's okay. Wow.
And, of course, that was recorded before we had a chance to talk to Gary. Here's one more look from the far end.
Well, Rick's right. I mean, it will drive you over the center, and we saw that happen. We also saw Gary get out of the throttle before it went over into the other lane. If he had steering, you know, he would have corrected that and coasted down the other lane, would not have drove it over into the wall.
Well, let's talk to Gary.
Medical crew has just checked out Gary Densham. He seems to be okay. I know that anytime you smack the wall on one of these things, it's got to be painful. Do you have any idea what may have happened?
I don't know. It hit awful hard. I mean, something happened. The car left good. It was marching out there like we wanted it to. And all of a sudden, it just started to the left and it wouldn't come back. I mean, something in the steering obviously broke. You know, you're not going to drive it across the center line into the other wall. Thank God the other car was out of the way. It would have been horrible if we would have had a collision out there. But I don't know. I mean, something broke and it went, and there was no way it could be turned back. But, you know, hopefully we can find out what it is.
And now the next problem is to repair a damaged race car.
And there it is, as that's the body up on the flatbed heading back into the pit area. And will they be able to make the necessary repairs? Remember, he is qualified number 16 on the bump spot in our quickest funny car field ever at 484. Come back trackside, we get ready for Eric Medlin in the left lane with Bazemore over in the right lane. Eric in the number 9 spot right now, and that is not good. You go up against Del Worsham right now if everything stays the same in round number 1 without lane choice.
Yeah, normally here lane choice doesn't matter, but we saw that in Reading. I mean, qualifying, both lanes looked pretty even. They came up in first round. There was a definite advantage to that left lane. Now, normally, like I said, you don't think lane choice is being that big of a deal here because the track's very well prepared, but anything can happen, so you don't want to not have it. You always want to qualify in the top half, so you do have that lane choice in case something does change going into tomorrow's eliminations.
And remember, Eric is coming off a second-round loss back at Reading to that man right there, Whit Bazemore. And Whit, very consistent so far. A 473 is best, followed with a 474.
Getting the car down the racetrack, not running the big numbers, but running good numbers. He is in the top half of the field. So, I mean, Eric's running good too, but same thing. He's just, you know, about 200 or 300 behind Whit, and they need to step up that performance right now.
The second Team Force car we have seen have trouble here in session number 3. As you saw, Eric go up in smoke. Whit gets down the quarter mile in 4.80 seconds at 325 miles an hour, so no help. Let's take another look.
Well, this is what happens when you're trying to improve on your previous run, but the sun's out and the track's a little bit greasier. You're trying to apply that clutch right at that point, and the track will just not hold it, and you start spinning the tires, and as a result, you know, that run is done, and they'll try to fix it and come back and improve in the next session.
And as you can see, he stopped out on the track as the crew, the NHRA Safety Safari, will have to get out and sort of push him off. And it gives us a chance to catch up with Ron Capps. Remember, we talked about they were still hot under the collar about what happened at Reading. Well, let's check in with Gary Gerould and see if they've gotten over it yet.
Ron Capps, I'm curious about the situation. We were talking a few minutes ago about what happened to you in the qualifying session at Reading 2 weeks ago. How hard was it to get over that and refocus and be able to get right down this racetrack both last night and just now?
Well, we were trying to focus on it and get rid of it, Gary, but then we show up here and they docked us an oil down penalty. Went on record on TV, and Reality said obviously there was no oil. We knew there was no oil, and the oil came from a car that was a high pressure spray, so it was obvious. And then they came back and docked us one. We had built up 2 credits. You get so many credits, so that could be important. I mean, that's half a round if something weird happens and we lose it down the stretch here. But to go on record and say we didn't oil it down and then to dock us an oil down, and just the whole fiasco is pretty unprofessional. And I love NHRA, and I'm always politically correct, but being in the hunt for the championship and having that happen was sickening. And we were over it till we got here, and we put it behind us and then found that out. And it's like, you know, pouring salt back in an open wound. So what are you going to do? I mean, brute guys, we'll stay after it, but, man, it's disheartening.
Thanks.
So you can see they are not over it by a long shot as we get ready. And take a look at this, because this could be important going down the stretch. Here are the guys, the top 5 in the championship chase. Robert Hight and John Force are out of freebies. So if they have an oil down in eliminations, it's 10 points coming out of your bank account. So that sets that stage as we get ready for John Force, Dell Worsham here in session number 3. The body up on the Castrol GTX Ford Mustang. He'll be over in the right lane. And let's talk a little bit about Sunday from Joliet. We'll have NHRA Today presented by Lucas Oil at 11:30 a.m. And we'll be following the funny car chase. Well, in fact, we'll talk to all 5 contenders. And then we'll have final eliminations at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN2 and ESPN2 HD. And I'm noticing Dell Worsham sort of moving closer to the center line.
Just trying to get where they think the good rubber is off the starting line. Sometimes the car backs up. Either they don't get right in the right spot and they'll move you over, or sometimes they'll look and see something where they want to move the car over maybe half a tire.
Dell, the defending event winner here from last year, beat the guy who's over in the other lane in the final, John Force. And had this been race day, he would have done it again. 4.74 the elapsed time, quickest run of this 3rd session. It will not improve Dell. He'll stay number 8, a 4.78 for John. He'll stay number 5.
Well, like you said, Marty, it didn't prove Dell's position in qualifying, but that's a very good run for the conditions right now, because this is very similar to what we're going to see tomorrow for race day, and that's a nice pass. They're going to feel real good about that.
So as we coast on out at the far end of the racetrack, we've got to take a commercial break as the Funny Car Championship chase is on.
I think the pressure is actually different when it gets down to the end like this, because I'm starting to enjoy it. Yeah, I still have the big butterflies with the 747s flying around, but I'm loving it.
Robert Hight's pit back here at the Ameriquest Mortgage Company NHRA Nationals. We are in 3rd session of qualifying in Funny Car, and they are trying to put this car back together. They have not had the kind of race weekend that they have dreamt about. Probably one of the biggest struggles they've had all season long. Meanwhile, out on the track, a couple of guys that are living large. Tommy Johnson Jr. over in the right lane, and Gary Scelzi. Scelzi, the number 3 qualifier. Johnson, number 4. Let's check in with Dave Reef.
Well, Marty, we just heard Ron Capps talking about his 2 free oil credits he used to have. Didn't get that. Robert Hight, this team had the exact same number, 2 credits coming into this race, and we're 5 runs away heading into this weekend before they've got their 3rd one. Unfortunately, though, you touched on the oil down. They've lost both of them. Robert Hight has no more free oil downs. If it happens tomorrow in eliminations, it will start costing him points. Just talked to Jimmy Prock. It took him about 20 minutes to get the computer data out of this car to find out what exactly went wrong in this 3rd qualifying session. When they finally did, Jimmy just said the car was too aggressive, spun the tires, dropped about 4 cylinders. And when that happens, there's a lot of unused fuel that is still sitting inside of cylinders. Boom, hydraulic. They're on their second motor this weekend. But more importantly, like we touched on at the top of this story, Marty, no more free oil downs. The championship chase now has extra drama for Robert Hight.
Yeah, and if you look at this third qualifying session for Team Force, John's the only one who made it down the track in a 480. He wasn't blazing like the best in the session. And here comes Scelzi. Let's see what he can do. And Scelzi goes up in smoke, and TJ quickly follows. So neither one will improve. Gary will stay number 3. Tommy will stay in the number 4 spot.
Gary Scelzi looked very good coming in this session, but the track's much hotter than it was in both previous sessions. Trying to get this thing down the racetrack, they were pretty aggressive, but when that clutch came in, it just overpowered the racetrack at that point and smoked the tires. TJ, he did it a little bit further down the racetrack.
So while Gary coasts on out, let's talk to Gary with this week's edition of Gary Scelzi Says, and it deals with pressure.
Guys, I'm sorry if I haven't been acting right lately. This chase for the championship's really been stressing me out.
Dad, come with me and Gio. We'll teach you how to relax.
Cool. I think I'm starting to lighten up. Boy, you guys are right. This really relaxed me. How'd you guys get to be so smart, yet you're so young?
Dad, stick with us. We'll take you to the top.
You're right.
That's great, great. Kids are, I don't think Giovanni said too much in that piece, though. He looked a little camera shy.
Dominic's definitely the talker in that family.
Hey, stick with me, Dad. We'll take you to the top. All right, let's get ready for the Pedregans. Cruz and Tony, they blistered this place last night. A matching pair of 4.68 second elapsed times. Cruz gets the #1 spot on speed. He went 3:30. Tony went 3:20. What a pooch.
Yeah, but you know, Tony's coming off that win in Maple Grove. He's feeling pretty good. But Cruz Pedregon right now, basically, this car wanted to run when they didn't qualify like at at Indy, and because the thing was very aggressive, was spin the tires in the middle. It's almost like last night the track came to their tune-up. So right now, this is a very important run for Cruz Pedregon because they really need to get that car down the track in these kind of conditions. That 468 doesn't mean anything other than they have a whole lot of horsepower. But now they got to figure out how to get it to the ground, and so they know that they have a car that they can race tomorrow.
Down from the AmeriQuest Airship Freedom. Well, Tony has it nose over just before the finish line. There you see the belt finally falling off. He goes 4.77 seconds, and Cruz, like you mentioned, needed a strong run, didn't quite get it because the car went up in tire smoke.
Yeah, they're going to have to get a handle on that if they want to win the race tomorrow. But I'll tell you, Tony Pedregon made a nice run before the belt came off just before the finish line. Left side of your screen, he's basically stuck pretty much right down the middle. Just about 1,000-foot mark, that thing quits, and but still runs a 477 at just over 300 miles per hour.
All right, we got ready for a commercial break. You want to see how cylinders drop out of a race car? That's computer graph.
Yeah, they're supposed to be going up like this, not down like this. So that's not a good sign there, Marty.
No, that means you're in trouble, and you're back in the pits trying to scratch your head and figure it out. When we come back, it'll be time for 4th session of qualifying in Pro Stock. Warren Johnson, Kurt Johnson. KJ's got the closest shot at Greg Anderson, but Greg is running on a rail and trying to lock it up. Welcome back to race number 20 of 23 on the NHRA Powerade Drag Racing Series here at Route 66 Raceway. And our aerial footage today provided by the AmeriQuest Airship Freedom. AmeriQuest, proud sponsor of the American Dream. And our pilots today are Mike Hance and Russell Mills. And our cameraman is Joel Barkin. And thanks, guys. Some great views from high above. Now let's talk about Pro Stock. Get you caught up on what happened in the highlights. Take you back to that lightning quick session last night. And it was Greg Anderson in the left lane, Jason Lyon in the right lane, and Greg goes low. 6.64 seconds, 2:07, and Jason right behind him at a 6:66 at 2:08 and change, the second fastest speed ever and a new track record. And then earlier today in session number 3, they did it again. They were quickest for the session. Greg this time in the right lane goes 6.67 seconds, and Jason at a 6:68. So take a look at the leaderboard. You can see behind them it is Larry Morgan, Richie Stevens, and a lot more news on Richie and what's happened to him. Unfortunately, down in New Orleans as a result of the hurricane, it is not very good. Dave Howard on the bump spot. One car, the only car left that hasn't run a 660. It is our quickest field ever in Pro Stock. There are the guys that have tried, and many of them are heading home. Down on the starting line, we get ready for Greg Stanfield and Dave Conley. Of course, Conley won here last year when Greg Anderson fouled out, and it was good for Dave because he actually broke on that run.
Didn't even make it to the finish line, but still got the win, because if you red light, leave before that green light comes on, it's automatic disqualification. So it was a good day for Dave Conley and not for Greg Anderson.
Greg Stanfield has made it to a final here at Joliet. It was a few years ago in Pro Stock Truck when that class was running. He lost in 2001 to Taylor Laster. Right now, both these guys in the field, trying to get into the top half of the field, but you got to run better than a 6:68, and the temperature may not let anybody do it. Whoa, Conley starts skating, and both cars go 6.76 seconds. And you were talking about the temperature. I mean, it's what, 20 degrees higher?
Yeah, about 20 degrees higher than last night's qualifying session when everybody ran those great numbers. So it's going to be very tough for these cars to improve on what they did there. Right side of your screen, Dave Conley. Boy, that thing really made a move to the right toward the center of the line, but he reeled it back in. Ran her down the racetrack because they need to get that information, because the track conditions are very similar to what they're going to be racing on tomorrow.
And as you take a look at the temperature on the track right now at 97 degrees, let's check in with Dave Reef. He is with the points leader.
And Marty, success can be measured a variety of different ways, but ultimately in our sport it seems to be dictated by how many wins you have. And this man has certainly won a lot, but you just touched on last year. When you red lit here, you found a variety of ways to not win this race. You've enjoyed success, just not the ultimate.
I have. We've had a lot of freak things happen here, from frost plugs falling out of the block and ended up in my lid, red lights, starter failure. We just about found every way you can to lose here, and I've probably got the best Summit Pontiac I've ever had here right now. I just need to forget about what's happened here in the past, I guess, and go out and get the job done tomorrow like it's any other track.
Can't dwell on any of that stuff. Remember, Marty, he also hadn't won at Reading until we went to Reading this year.
Yeah, and it's, of course, nice of us to keep reminding him about the fact he's never won.
He thanks us.
Yeah, I'm sure. And we got Warren Johnson and Kurt Johnson down here on the starting line right now. And WJ in the number 8 spot, Kurt in the number 10 position. Pair of 671, so everybody's at least being consistent. The last pair each goes 676. These two go 5/100ths quicker. It will not be good enough to improve on their position, so they will stay 8th and 10th as of right now. Let's talk a little bit about the points, and most of us in the media have already basically almost christened Greg Anderson. Mathematically, it is not over, but when you're talking about 20 points per round, and you can do the math, Kurt Johnson is 176 behind. There's just not a lot of time left, and especially with the way Greg's running. I mean, he's not showing any weakness. We've got to take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll have more qualifying here in the Factory Hot Rods at Route 66. Back here at the AmeriQuest Mortgage Company NHRA Nationals, we are in final qualifying of Pro Stock as you look down from the far end of the racetrack and towards this beautiful grandstand area, one of the finest facilities on tour, as we get ready for Alan Johnson in Jim Yates. There is Jim. Somebody was suggesting in the press box, since he has Sea Ray boats on his car, they ought to have a propeller at the back. And somebody said, no, I can't do that. Somebody figure out a way to put some power onto that thing and actually blow him down the track. Well, you can see the numbers again. The sun has begun to take its toll. 6:74 for Jim and a 6.75 second elapsed time for Alan. So they will stay 7th and 9th respectively. So right now Jim Yates would get Warren Johnson if nothing changes. Alan Johnson would get Kurt Johnson. We got a lot of Johnsons racing right now.
I can't keep track of them.
Well, somebody better. Let's get ready now for Erica Enders and V Gaines. And let's talk about V first, because there he is over in the right lane. He's had a career best ET in qualifying at 6.67 seconds. And of course, he is coming off a couple of bad races. He DNQ'd back at Memphis, lost the first round at Indy and Maple Grove, so he'd like to turn things around. He's in the number 6 spot, but let's also give kudos to Erica Enders and her team. Her best qualifying effort, a career best 6.67 second elapsed time, 2:06.48 the mile an hour. And take a look at her reaction last night, because when they gave her the numbers, it was just an incredible moment when you realize, hey, not only are we solidly in the show, we're playing, because they've run 667, 669, and 670. And look, she goes, whoa, we can do the dance.
And those are 3 very good runs. I mean, she's been running at the top of each session, and that's the key. You know, I mean, you can go out there and make that one good run in the good conditions, but if you want to win on Sunday, you have to be consistent in all kinds of conditions. And right now, this car looks very good at being able to do that.
Erica's in the left lane. V over in the right lane. And of course, we always refer to it, driver's right, driver's left. Well, Erica goes 6.71 seconds, 2:05, a 6:76 for V. Not going to be helpful to either one as far as moving up the qualifying order, but boy, 4 solid runs for Erica Enders, the best 4 she's had.
And that's what you got to do. You got to compare to the races, that the cars that are running in this session, and she's right there with all of them.
It's her highest starting position in her career. So right now she is number 5. So milk with an attitude. The Slammers team is slamming. We've got to take a commercial break. Stay with us. When we come back, it'll be Richie Stevens, and we'll update you on what's happened to his home in New Orleans.
We have really had some adversity this year, really had to grind it out, and hey, the competition's just been a lot stiffer this year. A lot of guys really stepped their program up in the last year, and it's made it tougher. If we can conquer this year and win this year, it'll probably be the hardest earned one we've had.
And as you look across the pond here at Route 66 Raceway, we are in final qualifying for the Pro Stock class. And the last thing Richie Stevens wants to see is that shot of water. He finally got to get home this past week, and it was an ugly sight. His house, the family's auto body shop, everything was inundated. It is going to be a very long cleanup. He's over in the right lane. We're in the left lane. And a 6:71 for Larry, 6.73 the elapsed time for Richie. So Larry and Richie stays 3 and 4 respectively. And we talked about how bad things were for Richie. He brought us a still photo from what it looked like, and this is what his home looked like. You can see the water line over on the garage and along the front. You see how high it is. And Mike, yeah, go ahead and just draw it in.
See that right there? And man, I mean, that's unbelievable, right?
And then there is the Ford Bronco, which that's not the way you normally park them. Dave Reef.
That's his neighbor's Ford Bronco that actually was taken there by the water. You saw the water line on the outside of the house. After talking with Richie, you go inside of that house right above the doorway. That's a big open living room area. Richie said that at the height of the storm surge there, the water was 14 foot at that area, and the house that you see directly to the right of his, that was a house that was actually moved off of its foundation. He credits that house for protecting his, because that's the direction in which the water came from Lake Pontchartrain. He feels very, very fortunate.
They were told it may be 5 months before they have electricity. So just gives you an idea of how tough it is down there right now. As we come back to the starting line, we're on board with Greg Anderson. He'll be in the left lane. Jason Line over in the right lane. The final pair of the factory hot rods here in the final session of qualifying.
So far, the best run in this session is Ron Krischer with a 6:69. He's been running very good, so that's something that these guys are going to be shooting for right now.
These guys just flew side by side. Look at the elapsed times. Greg goes low again for the session, 6.67 seconds. Right behind him is Summit Racing teammate Jason Line at a 6:68. These two look out tomorrow, and you got to throw Ron Krischer into that mix, because you're right, he was quick also.
Yeah, Ron would have qualified higher up. He just missed on the Friday night session last night, but made some good runs in the heat, as did Greg Anderson and Jason Line. This is just unbelievable what these two cars have been doing all weekend long, just going down that racetrack and just making very, very nice runs. Watch them going through the gears right there. Not hardly any movement on that steering wheel. That means that car was just hooked up, moving straight, and not wasting a whole lot of motion.
Man, and you could see the other car literally just in lockstep. Let's go to the far end and talk with Gary.
Eric Anders taking kind of a deep gulp there as she sees Jason Line and Greg Anderson put up those numbers. But you've had 4 very consistent runs. You've come up with your best qualifying effort ever. How much confidence does that give you going into tomorrow, now being in the top half of the ladder?
Well, excluding Jason and Greg, of course, it gives us a lot of confidence to run that 67. That was our career best, and to be 5th in the field for the show on Sunday. We're just really excited. The Slammers Ultimate Milk Chevy Cobalt's obviously running awesome. That's another new engine from our power plant. So we're excited to have it in the car, and hopefully these last couple races we can do us some good.
Getting better by every week. Good job. Thanks.
Thank you.
And she's going to have to take out Ron Krischer in the opening round. Take a look. There she is at the bottom of the left side of the ladder, and she will have lane choice over Ron. And there you see Richie Stevens, Greg Anderson, WJ. They've got the lane choice as well. Over on the other side, there is Jason Line. Kurt Johnson does not have lane choice up against Alan Johnson. Larry Morgan over Jed Coughlin. V. Gaines over Dave Conley. When we come back, it'll be time for Top Fuel. And how about Larry Dixon? He's 2nd in the points. Doug Coletta 3rd in the points. And Tony Schumacher is on the verge of collecting 20 bonus points for a record run. And welcome back to Route 66 Raceway here in Joliet, Illinois, just southwest of Chicago. We're in final qualifying here at the AmeriQuest Mortgage NHRA Nationals, and glad that you're with us as some of the fans enjoying activity back in the pits. Here in our booth, we are contemplating suicide because our pick for Top Fuel, Larry Dixon, is in some serious trouble, and so's Doug Coletta, because right now, that run with the record, the national backup, if they can finish with the record intact, they get the 20 bonus points at the end of the race weekend, and we're both toast.
It looks like it's pretty much over for us, but, you know, basically the only thing going to happen, since that car is so good right now, the tune-up is there, the crew's there, the driver's there. Unless they have a mechanical problem or the driver just has a misstep, in one of the early rounds, I think it's going to be awfully tough.
At the other end of the spectrum, there's a couple of guys that live in the Chicago area that are just hoping and trying desperately to make it into the field. One of them is TJ Zizzo. Let's check in with Dave Reef.
Now the spotlight firmly on Chicago's own TJ Zizzo. This is a Columbia College documentary going on right now, focusing on the homeboy here at his home race. You know, Chicago has so many great names when it comes to drag racing, from Austin Coyle, the Chi-Town Hustler, the Greek, Tony Schumacher, the Zizzo family for more than 25 years. How do you deal with all these extra people and all the extra stresses and the extra nitro?
Yeah, the extra nitro. I'm crying up a storm here, but this is what NHRA Championship drag racing is all about. I'll tell you, it's all about family. It's all about hometown, having a good time, enjoying this deal. Yeah, there is extra pressure here with Peak, Murray's, Torco champion, all based here in the Midwest. But you know what? We're having a good time, and that's all that counts.
It's all about getting into the show. You have one more opportunity. You can run better than the bump. You've done it many times before. How confident are you going into this last session?
We're extremely confident. This car, you know what? I'll tell you, it could run a 465 falling off the trailer. And that 76 we ran the last pass was the ugliest 476 we've ever seen.
Well, of course, documented here on ESPN2, and of course, they're documenting it too at Columbia College.
And of course, that interview, we should tell you, was taped a few minutes ago, and this was TJ trying to make it in, and unfortunately he did not. TJ and Joe Hartley both missed the 16-car field. Let's also talk about the other Chicago area resident, Scott Wise, for the first time this year over in the right lane. He will not be around on race day as he fails to make the 16-car field here at Route 66. And that brings us now, as we look down from the AmeriQuest Airship Freedom to the starting line area with Jack Beckman in the left lane, Bruce Litton in the right lane. Beckman is in the field solid at number 12 with a 457. Litton, the Indianapolis, Indiana resident, about 3.5 hours from home, and if he doesn't want to have to make that trip tonight, he's got to go run quicker than a 4:68.
You know, the conditions are there to be able to do it because the track is still very tight as far as the rubber. I mean, the air conditions or atmosphere conditions are a little bit worse than they were yesterday, but field cars can still make up for that horsepower. It's just a matter of getting everything hooked up and get it down that racetrack.
Beckman's had a busy Saturday. He was also part of the Jegs All-Stars, and you'll be able to see that a little bit later on our Lucas Oil Sportsman Series coverage. We will not spoil it for you. We'll tell you how Jack did.
Come on, Marty.
Won't do it. Sorry.
Can't pay you?
Well, you can, but it ain't going to do you any good. You're just going to lose some money.
Story of my life.
Well, Beckman goes 4.59 seconds at 3:15 in the heat. You saw the blower belt come flying off right at the finish line. Bruce Litten never stood a chance on this one. I mean, it just didn't move very much past the starting line. So Bruce is on his way back to Indianapolis, and Beckman will not improve, but again, a good solid run.
Yeah, backing up that 457 with a 459 right side of your screen, though. Bruce Litten, just as soon as he hit the throttle, it just quit. Situation like we saw with Robert Hight last night in Funny Car. You know, they had an ignition problem. It could have been the throttle cable fell off. As soon as he hit the throttle, they'll have to take it back and look and see what happened.
And we can tell you the field is now set, so no one else can bump their way in.
Start wiping it up with your rag.
And of course, we've got Rick Stewart Mike. He is giving instructions. And we'll take a commercial break while we get the track back in order over in the right lane.
We got some coolant out here to dry up, and then we'll be okay. I don't think we'll need the tractor.
Thank you, Rick. Now we know what's going on. We'll see you when we come back with more Top Fuel and Funny Car. Here we are for final qualifying in Top Fuel with John Smith and Melanie Troxel coming to the line. John will be over in the right lane. Melanie in the left lane here at Route 66 Raceway as the sun begins to set into the west. So actually behind the race cars right now. And as you get a look at Melanie Troxel's wing.
Had to go to a different wing at the last race and was causing the front end to lift up. They had to make an adjustment on the front end to keep that front end down so she could drive it.
Well, she drives it just fine. 4.56 seconds at 3:21, and she had an earlier run, 4:53, so some good performance from Melanie as John Smith goes 4:64 at 3:04. So as they coast on out, you're on board with David Grubnick as engines have yet to come to life. We caught up with him a little bit earlier in the race shop, and let's tune in for this week's edition of Grubby's Garage.
What I'd like to talk about here is the most sensitive and important piece of equipment we have here at Kalitta Motorsports. Now, if something happens to this little thing here, it's a catastrophe. It's mayhem, it's madness, day turns to night. It's a disaster. Believe me on this. So as you can see, the joys of a simple little refrigerator. All hail the king, Connie Kalitta.
What I want to know is, he kept pouring and pouring and pouring. I mean, that was a big glass.
I tell you, he'll pour for a long time, too, trust me.
Great one. David Grubnick over in the right lane. He's the number 13 qualifier right now. Morgan Lucas will be over in the left lane. And Morgan with the new paint scheme this week, a pink color, and it's for breast cancer awareness. And of course, Morgan has been taking some teasing from some of the teams and the guys about the pink race car. But also a lot of questions surrounding that team right now as far as their future. There has been discussions about Forrest Lucas, Morgan's father, buying out Joe Amato. Joe, there's been speculation he may just say we're not going to race anymore. They may be back. Can't seem to get the full story. But as we always say, stay tuned. Eventually it will all shake out. And there is Joe.
The winningest top fuel driver of all time. A lot of questions, but not a whole lot of answers at this point. So we'll see what happens down the road.
That lady in the background was Charlotte Lucas, Morgan's mother. And she races Super Comp in her own right. She got her license after watching her son. She said, he's having a lot of fun. I think I'll try it too.
David Grubnik trying to get in the top half of the field. He's got to run better than a 4:52.2 to do it.
Well, Morgan goes 4.51 seconds. Quickest run of this session, and that is back-to-back 451s. I mean, he's got a 451, another 451, and a 452.
Morgan Lucas, just like he was doing 2 weeks ago in Reading, just going down the racetrack, running good numbers. Not great numbers when you look at Tony Schumacher, but still nice passes going down that racetrack, and very consistent right now.
And as you go on board with David Grubnik, with him not moving up in the field, if nothing changes, he faces teammate Doug Coletta in the opening round tomorrow. We've got to take another commercial break. There is Clay Millican back in the staging lanes getting ready. Stay with us. We have more Top Fuel action and all of Funny Car coming your way here at the AmeriQuest Mortgage Nationals. Back here at final qualifying at Top Fuel at Route 66 Raceway as we get ready for Clay Millican over in the right lane, Rod Fuller over in the left lane. And Sunday night, ESPN and the NFL make a little history as San Francisco 49ers meet the Arizona Cardinals in the first NFL regular season game played outside of the U.S. 49ers Cardinals live from Mexico City. It's available in high definition on ESPN HD. Coverage begins with NFL Primetime presented by Miller Lite Sunday at 7:30 Eastern. Let's check in with Gary Gerould at the far end of the track.
Morgan Lucas with a new fire suit. Hope fuel for the fight. Go with a new color scheme in the battle against breast cancer. But 3 great runs thus far, 51s, 52s. Are you overshadowed when you see Schumacher running those 40 numbers? Does that demoralize you at all?
Not really. You can't really count him sometimes. You get in tracks like this. This is like Disneyland for all of us. I mean, you can't hardly throw enough at it. And I think they just probably make a little more power than a lot of us out here. But, I mean, my team's doing good. I mean, first one, we were the second quickest next to them, of course. And I don't know how we're going to turn on this one, but 2 51s and 52. And actually on the first pass, I lost the belt yesterday, and it was probably running about the same. So we got a good, consistent car. We got the same car in Reading. And we're just going to go out tomorrow and try to 51 them to death. And when we have to race Schumacher, we have to race Schumacher. But hopefully it's no time soon. But fuel for the fight. Everybody else, appreciate it. And anybody who wants to represent, you know, cancer and support it, just look it up on the internet and just do what you can, because it's a good cause and good supporting issue.
Don't run away. I want to ask you now. We keep hearing all this talk about, will Joe Amato sell this team? Will Morgan Lucas end up working with his family, with a team of your own? Can you shed any light on what's going on?
Not yet, because I'm not really allowed to yet. There's going to be some stuff changed next year. I don't really know what for sure is going to happen. And my dad and Joe have been in talks, and my dad's also thinking about all kinds of options. He just wants to make sure he does the right thing. There's a lot of money out here to spend, but it's a business. And Joe's been nothing but great to me, and I appreciate everything he's done for me, getting me in the sport, and my team, everybody. So we'll see what happens in the future, but I'm just happy to be here racing.
Thank you, and we're glad you're here, Marty.
All right, thanks, guys, as we get back ready for this next run. That 3:29 by Rod Fuller and the career best speed. And as we watch Brandon Bernstein and Doug Coletta do the burnouts, we should also salute Clay Millican. He was in the other lane, both of them running in the 450s. And we should congratulate Clay on his 5th IHRA championship. Let's check in with Dave Reef.
Yeah, fresh on the heels of Rod Fuller's fastest pass. I'm joined now by team owner David Powers. David, what a great situation. You've got Lee Beard hooked up through 2008. Just announced Rod Fuller signed now through 2008. What can we look forward to this team, and what are your expectations now with the team you put together?
Well, it's a fantastic feeling to have all these people in place. Lee Beard, Rob Flynn, Rod Fuller, and a whole bunch of other good guys on our team that's going to make David Powers Motorsports a great team at 06.
The obvious goal then, championships?
We're running for the championship.
Enough said. Great to have a new car out, guys.
They will be full-time next year. Speaking of full-time, there's number 3 in the points, and this is a huge weekend for both Doug Kalitta and Larry Dixon. And how demoralizing is it if you're sitting in that cockpit right now and you're in Doug's seat and you've seen what Schumacher's been doing? What's going through your head?
Well, I mean, you just got to focus on doing what's you're paid to do, and that's get that car down the racetrack as quick as it will go. It's up to Ron Tobler and the rest of the crew to give Doug the car that can run the kind of numbers, because Doug Kalitta is one of the best drivers in the business. He can get the car down the racetrack.
Two good runs, and Brandon goes 4.49 seconds. A 4.54 for Doug. Brandon goes low for this session, so he moves into the number 5 spot as they move on through the line. The only thing Brandon may be concerned about, this is 2 sessions in a row where his lights off the starting line have not been very stellar. Take another look at the run as we get ready to head for commercial break. Stay with us. Still more Top Fuel action and all the funny car.
Today's Speed World presentation of the AmeriQuest NHRA Nationals brought to you by Prestone Antifreeze in the yellow jug. Prestone Protection, easy to choose, easy to use. Wendy's, do great taste at a low price. Do Wendy's, do what tastes right. And by Bombardier, for the ultimate power, versatility, and handling, try the ultimate ride, the Bombardier Outlander ATV.
Back here at final qualifying in Top Fuel at the Route 66 Raceway. You're looking at Doug Herbert from America's West Lightship Freedom. And earlier, before this run, Dave Reef caught up with a special member of Doug's crew this week.
2 times this year, Marty, the RFC Garage, an organization started by the Racers for Christ that benefit disadvantaged youth, have had an auction where the winner gets to become an honorary Doug Herbert crewman for a day. Well, here's the most recent winner. This is Randy Slazeski from Green Bay, Wisconsin. What's it like being an honorary crewman? You look, you're actually getting dirty.
Yeah, they put me to work, got a little oil on my jeans, and it's just been fantastic. The crew's been just great. Answer all the questions I have for them, showed me around, treated me just like one of the crew.
What made you get involved?
Well, the money went to a good cause, and and I win too. I got a chance to be with the crew, but main thing is money for the RFC Garage.
Nicely done, Randy.
Thank you, Dave. And of course, for Doug Herbert, good news also. Snap-on has signed on through 2008 as his primary sponsor. He's in the left lane, Dixon in the right lane. Two good runs. Doug Herbert goes 4.51 in the elapsed time, a 4.53 for Larry Dixon. Neither one's going to get any help. Doug stays number 3. Larry stays number 7.
Larry Dixon's real consistent, 51, 52, right in there, 53. He's just needs that extra horsepower to be able to, run with Tony Schumacher, and that's been their problem. They haven't been able to step up when they need it on these good racetracks. Doug Herbert, he made another nice pass. Wayne Dupuis getting a good handle on that race car, and he's got a shot at winning on race day. But right now, Tony Schumacher looks really, really tough.
And while we've got a moment, let's talk about what's going to happen tomorrow here from Route 66 Raceway on ESPN2 and ESPN2 HD. We'll kick it off with NHRA Today, presented by Lucas Oil at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and follow it up at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific with final eliminations here at the AmeriQuest Mortgage Company NHRA Nationals. So that brings us down to numbers 1 and 2 in the qualifying pecking order. It'll be that man right there, the Fram Air Hog of Corey McLenathan. He'll be in the right lane. Over in the left lane, the potential new record holder. He's got the record. Question is, can he hold on to it through the end of the event? Pick up the 20 bonus points. Right now, I don't. Tony Schumacher. And as these guys back up. Take a look at the points right now for the Budweiser Shootout. Now, this is the specialty race for $100,000. It'll be coming up at Las Vegas. You score your points through your qualifying effort, and the top 7 are locked in. Number 8 is done at a draw, which will be held at the Hard Rock Cafe on Thursday night of race week. And right now, Tony Schumacher is number 1. David Grubnick was number 6 coming into the race. Corey McLenathan was in the number 7 spot, but Corey's going to get some big help here if he finishes number 2.
Well, I mean, he's going to finish number 2 unless he's able to knock off that low ET number of Tony Schumacher, which I don't think is going to happen because, I mean, Corey ran good. I mean, 446, they make good horsepower, but Tony Schumacher, you know, that car looks tough. I mean, that car's been in the 440 range on all 3 of its runs. Obviously something nobody else has done in this class, even close. I mean, Corey with that 446, that was the only one time. The other run, he smoked the tires in the first session. Then last session, he ran a 458. So he wants to try to step up, run another, you know, high 440 run. I think he'd be happy with that. Who knows what this man's going to try to do? He's probably going to try to rotate the earth right now and see what this thing will hold.
Well, Tony's going to set a record here if he holds on this pole. It'll be a 6th in a row, breaking the single season mark set by Gary Beck in '83, Darrell Gwynn in '86, and Doug Coletta in '03. Wow. This is just incredible. 4.49 flat, 327, quickest run of the session. And as you said earlier, unless he makes a mistake or something breaks on this race car, look out tomorrow, because no one so far has found an answer to this.
There's absolutely no weakness in the tune-up on this race car, especially when you have conditions like this. Down that racetrack, every time, the crew does a tremendous job of making sure that car is prepared exactly the same every time it goes there. And that's the key to being able to allow Alan Johnson to make the right calls to be able to get that thing down the racetrack. I think Alan was probably trying to run a little bit quicker. I think he'll go back and look at it and say we probably left a little bit on the table, but still, it was a very nice run.
His 10th pole of the year coming into this season. He had a career total of 11. Take a look at the matchups. Lucas and Troxel, that'll be a good one. Doug Coletta and Grubnick, well, that has not changed. The teammates will meet in first round. And there is Larry Dixon up against Scott Coletta. As you see the top contenders in the points championship chase and where they stack up. We've got to take one more commercial break before we can go to Funny Car. Tony and Cruz, boy, these guys have been flying this weekend. And what about Ron Capps and Eric Medlin? They're both in the bottom half of the field. They got to try and punch their way up if they can.
You can go hard or go home. Watch TV. You got a choice to make. So what's it gonna be? So what's it gonna be? You got a choice to make. If you really want it, you can go hard or go home. You can work real hard. You got a choice to make. Don't stop, don't quit it. You can go hard or go home. Give it all you got. You got. You really want it? You can go hard or go home. Watch TV. You got a choice.
And welcome back. And as if you're just tuning in, we are now live with you here at the AmeriQuest Mortgage Company NHRA Nationals at Route 66 Raceway. It's race 20 of 23 on the NHRA Powerade Drag Racing Series. And I'm Marty Reed, along with Mike Don, Dave Reef, Gary Gerald, and our entire ESPN2 crew. We've got a moment of downtime on the track. We just had an explosion. More on that in a moment. But let's put a period on Top Fuel. Go to the far end. Gary Gerald.
Tony Schumacher once again, another pole position, 6 consecutive. It's never been done before in NHRA Top Fuel history in a single season. What do those little milestones like that mean to you?
It's outstanding. It's just amazing being with Alan Johnson. These Army guys are flawless, and it just keeps happening. You know, it's not like you get one and they throw you a bone and you go, wow, we got to say it's unbelievable. It just weekend after weekend, you know, it's the greatest race car I've ever probably seen. And last year we won 10 races. This year we've had more accomplishments and have only won 5 so far. That's going to tell you the level of racing that we have right now on Top Fuel. I know everyone's watching all the classes. Funny Cars, Outstanding, Pro Stock Bike. All of them are great competitive races right now, man. Down the championships, not settled any of them. But this one here in Top Fuel, look at the numbers, man. They are extremely stout. We've won 5 races running world records on both ends of the ladder. You know, it's just 336 in Columbus is a world record, right here in Chicago doing a 443. So unbelievable. Let's see if we can try to win 8 or 9 of these things. It's awful tough with the level of competition we have.
We enjoy watching.
And thanks, Gary. As we come back, there is Gary Dencham. And if you were with us earlier, we had a problem with his car, with the steering, but this is what happened just a few moments ago.
Dale Creasy Jr. trying to get qualified in this show. He'd been running good numbers, but the car hadn't been making to the finish line under power, and this was no exception here as that car went about 150, 200 feet and then just exploded.
And then let's go back to third session earlier with Gary Dencham. We found out, we confirmed with the team that the steering mechanism actually hung up on the body somehow, and this is what happened.
Just tried to get the car to go back to the right. The car went out of the groove and drove it towards the center. When he lifted, he was unable to steer the car back to the right, and it just careened over into the wall. But luckily, Gary was uninjured.
And he is back here for final qualifying, and as you get one more look at it, we can tell you he is on the bump spot right now in our quickest funny car field ever. A 4.842 is what John Lawson over in the right lane is going to have to run to bump Gary out. Goes 4.86 seconds, and John, who lives right here in Joliet, Illinois, will be watching from either the grandstands or at home on television with you, because he is not going to be in the 16-car field. There you see the standings right now as you get the brothers Pedregon with identical 4.68 second elapsed times on down through the top half of the field. You had to run a 4.73 just to make the top half. That's the quickest that mark has ever been. And of course, as we mentioned, it is the quickest funny car 16-car field, courtesy of Gary's 4.84. There are the guys that are not going to be around on race day. We come back trackside for the next pair. It will be Mike Ashley, and there the body comes down. The Mark Oswald Tune machine. Monte Carlo will be over in the right lane. Tony Bartone will be in the left lane. And while these guys complete the burnout process, let's check in again with Dave Reef.
Now down with Corey McLenithan, Marty, and wanted to start talking a little bit about the Budweiser Shootout. That's the specialty race for Top Fuel cars. It's coming up at our race in Las Vegas. It's two-way. Remember, Dallas got rained out. This man, positions, they only lock in the top 7, Corey. You were kind of precariously in that spot. But with a #2 qualifying effort, how much better are you going to sleep going to Dallas now?
Oh, much better. I mean, that's just something everybody wants to be in, that shootout. That's a big thing for Budweiser, for here at Carrier Boys Racing, and for our Fram Airhawk Top Fuel Dragster. That's a big deal for us. So
we got to talk about this, though. I can't let this guy off the hook. I know he's excited about that. This man's in a lot of pain. Take a look at this. This is a double hernia this man is racing with this weekend. Ouch. How'd it happen?
Actually, thanks to one of my sponsors. I was lifting up my Mac Tools box and got it part of the way out, and it fell down, and I basically strained to pick it up. And I should have known better. Just didn't have any help at the time. Trying to move it over to my new house in Havasu, and just one of those things.
So what happens now? You can race with this tomorrow. You're going to race with it. I know you're a racer. You're a machine. But does this get better on its own?
Not really. I'm going to have to go get operated on probably after Dallas, you know, somewhere there, or at the end of the season. One or the other is going to have to happen, but we do what we got to do to make the car, get the car down the track. We need those qualifying runs.
There's even a little movement afoot, Marty, to put Kenny Bernstein in this car for the 4th session. Didn't work out, though.
All right, thanks for the update. And as you finished up, it was Tony Bartone running a career best 4.79 as he was in the left lane at 317 miles an hour. Mike Ashley's earlier run a 4.78. He didn't improve on this one. He ran a 5.09 here.
Tony Bartone and that team have been trying to run the 470 all week, and they've been running low 480s every time down the racetrack. They finally nailed it in the last session. Nice pass 479. Mike Ashley, left side of your screen, gets her out of the groove right there, starts spinning the tires and puts cylinders out. That's what slowed him down. But watch Tony Bartone. He has a cylinder go out just before the finish line, but still takes her down there and makes a nice run.
All right, we've got to take commercial break. Stay with us. We still have a lot of the top funny car teams coming to the line for final qualifying. Welcome back live to final qualifying here at Route 66 Raceway in Joliet, Illinois. Our aerial footage provided by the Ameriquest Airship Freedom. Ameriquest, proud sponsor of the American Dream. Thanks once again to our pilots Mike Hance, Russell Mills, and camera operator Joel Bargan. Great job today, guys. Spectacular view, not a cloud in the sky as we get ready for Tim Wilkerson in the left lane. who won his first ever national event in the spring of '99 right here, and this is his home track. He lives in Springfield, Illinois. And Phil Burkhardt, who went to the '03 finals, losing to Tony Pedregon, who was then racing for John Force. Both these guys in the bottom half of the field looking to move up if they can. And neither one is going to move anywhere, except they'll stay 11th and 12th as they coast on out. And as you take a look at the full 16 leaderboard, let's bring in Larry Dixon, and he is back in the pits. I got to tell you, is this demoralizing to you in any way, watching what's happening with Tony Schumacher and the potential of a 20-point bonus with, you know, him setting a national record?
Boy, Marty, you always like to bring the bright side to things to the table. To be honest with you, I was thinking back to last year when I didn't even make the cut at this event. So we qualified 7th, top half of the field, car's running good, and I get to race tomorrow. So from my eyes, I think things are pretty good.
So, Larry, do you want me to ask you a happy question or a sad question?
Fire away, Mike. I ain't scared.
Yeah, I know you're
I drive
not.
a fuel car.
Yeah, you're a bad man, let me tell you. I know about them fuel drivers. I was one a long time ago, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah, my dad used to put me up on his shoulders, and I used to watch.
Oh, that was good. Nice one.
By the way, belated happy birthday, Mike.
Well, thank you, Larry. I appreciate that. Hey, I want to ask you, though, you know, the car, you've been having trouble trying to step that thing up. I mean, obviously, it's very consistent running low 450s, but you just haven't been able to step that up on these good racetracks. I mean, are you trying different things and it's just not showing it, or what?
I think, I mean, it's, you know, Mike, I mean, it's these cars now, with all the nitrate percentage away from them, they're so reliant on the clutching the car and using the timing to move the car. I mean, those are the two things that do it. And obviously, you're trying to put the fuel volume to it because that's what makes the power. And it's just, you got to try and hit all those things right. I mean, what those guys are doing over there in the Schumacher camp, they've been working on that setup for a long time, and they got a handle on things. But there's, you know, obviously, there's quite a few other cars that are running 440s. Maybe a couple, they might be a couple hundredths, you know, quicker than everybody, but not, you know, at least they're not a tenth ahead. You know, it's something that you could certainly, you can race. I mean, you get a good light, you might be able to steal one.
All right, thanks, Larry. We'll see you tomorrow when you go up against Scott Coletta in first round action.
That's who I'm worried about right now. Thanks.
All right, let's go back trackside. Eric Medlin in the right lane. Ron Capps in the left lane. And a 473 for Ron Capps is going to help him. In fact, it moves him into the top half of the field, a career best elapsed time. And Eric is in the number 10 spot. Guess what? These two, if nothing changes, will race again tomorrow. Stay with us. And as we come back for final qualifying, I want to remind you one more time, the code word for tonight, Christmas tree. Enter it at 100yardblitz.com for your chance to win an HD TV. We get ready now for Del Worsham in the right lane. Whit Bazemore in the left. Can you tell the sun is starting to set off into the west? Dell goes 4.72 seconds. He is now in the number 6 spot. Whit with a 475. In fact, that's a career best ET for Dell at 326. That 472 is. And for Whit, he moves into number 7 spot with a 475. His earlier 473 is what got him there.
Both cars making nice, consistent runs all weekend. Your defending champion, Del Worsham, on the left side of your screen, right down that racetrack to run that 472. He's going to try to do exactly what he did last year. Didn't have the fastest car, quickest car last year, but he still got the win.
Well, now with Dell's run, here's the way it shakes out. Whit Bazemore would run Eric Medlin. Ron Capps will run Robert Hight if nothing else changes. Let's go to the far end.
We're just spreading the news to these guys about who they may be facing tomorrow, and they're kind of looking at each other like, whoa, I don't know. Let's talk championship quickly amongst you two. We'll start with you, Eric. How do you assess your chances now? Because we're really getting down to cutting time.
You're getting down to cutting time, and a lot of people talk championship. We're out here trying to win races. I think if you win, you know, Ron can probably tell you, he's been right there a lot of years. So if you can win a few more of these races in the last part, you'll be the last name called on the stage.
And Ron Capps, you just run the quickest and the top speed, the fastest numbers of your career. What kind of infusion of confidence does that give you in terms of this championship fight?
Well, it's huge. Like you said, I mean, a minute ago, I run 73. I could still race height first round. You don't know. And like Eric said, you're trying to just win races for your sponsor. But, I mean, he was 6 points ahead of me coming in here. Medlin was. So you start counting qualifying. That's how brutal this chase for the championship. We're counting every single point. And it's like counting airline points, huh? But but it's nerve-wracking, man. This is a mess. I mean, I am so wore out on Saturday night just from the stress of being in this champion. But it's fun, man. And the Brute guys and Dodge, and just to battle it out and be in the hunt, it's awesome.
I love it. It's a mess, but it's fun. That kind of sums it up, and it's not going to change in the next couple of weeks, I don't think, Marty.
It's not going to change in the next few seconds unless Robert Hight steps it up. He's the number 9 qualifier. He'll be over in the right lane. John Force will be in the left lane. Now, remember, Hight's team has been struggling all weekend long. They've really only made one good run. That was the first session, and they blew it up at the far end of the track. Goes low for the session. 4.70 seconds, 328 miles an hour, and more questions for Robert Hight's team. They've made it down the track only one time. Force with the 10th quickest elapsed time in this class history. That 470 keeps him in the number 5 spot. Height stays in the number 9 position. And what are you thinking if you're Jimmy Brock and Robert Hight right now?
Boy, I mean, you saw he's just shaking his head. It's one of those deals where, you know, you get behind the 8 ball. It has mechanical problems, blew up the engines, hydraulic one, you know, spinning the tires, and you get behind it. It's hard to really get caught up and get a handle on this thing. And right now, they can't feel real confident about their shot going into first round tomorrow.
While we wait to get a chance to talk to Robert, get his thoughts, let's talk to number 3 in top fuel points. There he is, Doug Coletta.
Hanging out with his son Mitchell. And Doug, we're just talking a little bit about this championship chase now. The team's struggling a little bit, has fallen back, and watching Tony Schumacher do the things that he does. I know only you can focus on driving, but what does that do to you? What does it do to your mindset, and how much more does it make you have to focus?
Yeah, you know, with the program we've got going on, you know, it's really anything can happen out there with drag racing. So, you know, my car has been running strong. You know, I've slipped up a little bit. You know, we've had some bad luck. So, to be honest with you, until we're mathematically out of this thing, you know, I'm very optimistic that, you know, we can put a string of races together and stay in this thing.
How tough is it, though, to now go out, you know what Tony Schumacher's doing, and now you have to race your teammate, David Grubnick, tomorrow morning. Puts a little extra pressure and a little extra stress on the situation, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's all good, though. You know, all the cars out there are tough first round. You know, it's always get the first round jitters. So, but getting by first round, you know, and hopefully just going rounds. And, you know, we've won here before, and, you know, we got great support with Mac Tools and, you know, all the distributors and whatnot. So we got the Cowboys out here, Technico. They're, you know, so we got great support, and, you know, and everybody's real focused and just trying to do a good job.
And the only way it's going to be all good for this guy is if it works out for him to win that points championship.
Well, as we come back out trackside, we get ready for Gary Scelzi. He is the number 3 qualifier right now in the left lane. Tommy Johnson Jr. over in the right lane. Record-setting drag strip is right.
You know, and yesterday we talked about the Pedregon brothers running number 1, number 2, that 468s. But these two cars right here were the best yesterday between both sessions. I mean, they went down the racetrack and ran very good, pretty close to each other. I mean, Gary Scelzi at 472 in the first session, Tommy Johnson 471. They both came back and went side by side, 469 at over 331 miles an hour last night, which was a great way to end the session. But then they came out the first session day and both spun the tires. So, I mean, these guys have been pretty much identical up to this point as far as the setup on the cars and what they've been doing on the racetrack.
There's Mike Green, calls the shots for Tommy Johnson. Mike Neff, his counterpart, right there for Gary Scelzi.
Both crew chiefs been doing a really good job this weekend. I mean, these cars really look good.
4.72 the elapsed time for Gary Scelzi. Tommy goes 4.80. They'll stay numbers 3 and 4. So right now, Gary Scelzi would match up with Mike Ashley in the first round. Tommy Johnson would get Frank Pedregon. Let's go to the far end and check in once again with Gary Gerould.
Talking championship contenders, here are 2 more of them here, and their teammates, of course. John Force, how solid in your mind is that 70? Because that's a spectacular number.
Well, this Ford here should have run 60s. It did it here before without even a problem, but she was flying. I thought it was going to make it. We ran 71 yesterday, but coming into the lights, it hit the rev limiter and just parked her, and that was the end of that.
And Robert, how concerned are you? Only 1 good run out of the 4 qualifying attempts.
I've got a lot of confidence in Jimmy Prock and this Automobile Club team. I think we'll be just fine. You know, hopefully with this multi-car team we have, we'll be able to use some of John's data, and we'll be good for first round.
Well, there's a brain trust that's going to be burning a lot of oil tonight, I suspect, getting ready for tomorrow.
And we've already mentioned the fact that Robert will match up against Ron Capps. And John, he'll have a first-round date right now with Phil Burkhardt as we come down to the final 2 cars of the session. The last 2 to go down the track today will be Tony Pedregon and that man right there, his brother, Cruz. Cruz looking at his potential 32nd career pole would put him behind John Force's with 125. And Don Perdome's with 50 and Kenny Bernstein's 38. And as they complete the burnout process, we have to take one more quick commercial break. Promise you will not miss the run. Stay with us. Back here at Route 66 Raceway. Told you we wouldn't miss it. They're coming to the line right now as we're live at the AmeriQuest Mortgage NHRA Nationals. The final pair coming down the quarter mile. Tony and Cruz Pedregon. If you remember from earlier today, Cruz smoked the tires in the 3rd session. Track temperature a little cooler, but we really won't be racing in these conditions. We're not scheduled to run this late in the afternoon. So this is a home run ball. Go for it all. And you saw he goes low for the session, 4.69 seconds at 328 miles an hour. So he goes 468 last night. He goes 469 now, the 8th quickest elapsed time in funny car history. A 474 is nothing to sneeze at for Cruz. That's his wife, Sharon, and she's got a smile on her face for good reason.
Well, yeah, Cruz Pedregon ends up being your #1 qualifier, but right now Tony Pedregon has the better car going into tomorrow eliminations based on this 469 that he backed up his 468 from last night, and he also went down the track this afternoon and ran a 477. So based on that, you got to like his chances to get the win tomorrow.
As you get a look at the run, let's take a look at the matchups. The arrow indicates who has the lane choice. There's the big one with Capps and Height. That's a rematch from Reading 2 weeks ago. Force has Burkhardt. So they're on the same side of the ladder over there. Now, who's over on the other side? Take a look. It's Tony Pedregon with Tony Bartone. Whit Bazemore has Eric Medlin. So Bazemore can help his teammate, Gary Scelzi. Scelzi's got Ashley. Del Worsham, the defending event winner, has lane choice over Tim Wilkerson. So there is Cruz at the far end of the racetrack, climbing out from the body of his Advanced Auto Parts Monte Carlo. And we're going to take one final commercial break. We'll talk to the pole sitter and wrap things up here at Route 66.
Today's Speed World presentation of the AmeriQuest NHRA Nationals brought to you by Powerade. Sport is what you make it. AmeriQuest, proud sponsor of the American Dream. And New Q from Quaker State, the heat-activated oil that helps maximize the power of your engine.
And back here as the fans head for the parking lots as the day has come to a conclusion with the family Pedregon doing very well. Thank you very much. Cruz holds on to the pole position. Tony runs very strongly. Let's talk to both of them there at the far end of the racetrack with Gary Gerould.
Got a little Pedregon reunion going on down here. Frank's not here, but we got the Cruiser and we got Tony. And Tony, the fact that you're able to get below a 70 with the sun still out here and shining, how important in your mind setting up for tomorrow is a 69?
Well, all these runs are pretty important, especially when all the other cars are running low 70s. So, yeah, I don't know what Dickie's game plan was, but we were in the back of the pack. We were a little disadvantaged last night, but we threw a lot at it, and, you know, we lost low ET, but nobody else I can think of better to lose it to than them. They did a good job recovering, and it's a good start for the weekend. But right now, like I said, we won a race a couple weeks ago. Now our focus is on eliminations tomorrow. We're happy with the qualifying, and we're going to give them guys a little crossfire. But thank you, great stuff, and Q giving me the best protection I've ever had in an engine oil in any race car I've ever driven. So far, so good.
Cruiser, I want to know what's the difference? Why unable to qualify the last two events and then be able to put up such strong numbers today and last night?
Well, it just, you know, unfortunately we had to pay the price, and we changed the car from when Cerny ran it. Hats off to Cerny, he's a great crew chief, but we changed this car. We're just trying to run the car so we can run with the Schumacher team and the Force teams, and we finally got it together. The racetrack's good. For Advanced Auto Parts, I'm so proud. Hey, they have a car that they can say it's a top-notch car, the quickest field ever. Q Racing, Snap-on, Purelator, everybody, Sioux City Truck. I'm just really, really proud. Great stuff that we could do this, because after 2 DNQs, man, I'm on cloud 9. Now we got to go win the race.
That's the big challenge, boy. They don't give you long to savor it, guys.
That's the way this sport is. All right, let's talk a little football, because Sunday night ESPN and the NFL are going to make some history. The San Francisco 49ers meet the Arizona Cardinals in the first NFL regular season game played outside of the U.S. It's the 49ers Cardinals live from Mexico City. It's available in high definition on ESPN HD. Coverage begins with NFL Primetime presented by Miller Lite Sunday at 7:30 Eastern. All right, let's talk a little bit about our predictions that we talked about. And right now, Mike, you're looking pretty good. I think Dave and I might be hurting based on what we're seeing in qualifying right now from Robert Hight and Jimmy Prock.
Yeah, but anything can happen on race day. But I like my chances with John Force. The key for him is getting out of that first round. If he gets out of the first round, I think he's going to be awfully tough to beat tomorrow.
It is going to be a great race, and that's not overselling it by any stretch of the imagination. Let's get a closing comment from Dave Reef.
And let's talk a little bit about Top Fuel, Marty, where it was as little as 3 or 4, even 5 races ago. We had a very tight points battle. Larry Dixon, Doug Kalitta, all very much involved. But over the last couple of races, Tony Schumacher has really started to stretch that lead out. It's now more than 100 points, and the reason is the car that's already put away up inside of that U.S. Army trailer. It's tuned by Alan Johnson. And let's face it, he's got the record right now. The sun is going to come out tomorrow. Those 20 points are going to be his, so that means his lead is even bigger tomorrow. If this team wants to go the distance tomorrow, they've got a race car that can do it, and if they do it, that could all but seal the deal for Tony Schumacher and his 3rd Top